Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel for another 1/12 scale NECA figure unboxing and review. Well, actually it's two figures that we're going to be taking a look at today, because what we've got in front of us is the NECA Toys Halloween 2 Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis set from the 1981 sequel to John Carpenter's seminal masterpiece Halloween. Bit of background, the sequel picks up literally at the end of the first movie and follows Michael Myers in his pursuit of Laurie Strode. Unfortunately, John Carpenter didn't return for this sequel as director, but directing duties are picked up by Rick Rosenthal, who went on to direct Halloween Resurrection. Halloween 2 most certainly doesn't have the same impact as the original, but it's fair to say it's head and shoulders above some of the dross that we've seen subsequently calling themselves sequels, and it's definitely worth seeking out if you haven't already seen it. But that's enough of the movie. We're here to look at the figures. The review will take the usual format. We'll have a look at the box, then we'll dive down to the table, take a look at all the accessories that come with the figures. Then it'll be out with the figures themselves. We'll have a close-up look at them, and we'll be wrapping the whole thing up as usual with a mini showcase over at the Details. Just before we dive into the box though, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody who's liked, commented and subscribed to the channel. If you haven't already, please hit that bell notification icon, hit that subscribe button. We have lots more content coming up, and as usual we'll list that before we zip over to the details. But yeah, just a massive thank you to everybody who supported the channel. So yeah, let's dive into this box, and very, very nice box it is too. Don't normally have the box on a turntable at this point in one of the reviews, but I just thought it was worthwhile showing this this rather fantastic box off. What we'll do is we'll get it off the turntable and have a closer look at it. Yeah, we'll put this turntable to one side and just take a look at this. Now, it's not the biggest box in the world, but it's as we come to expect from NECA, but it is very, very nice. The artwork on the front here is really something special. I mean, NECA have gone to town on this one. What you've got in the bottom corner here is 40 years, and I believe this was released to coincide with the 40-year anniversary of Halloween 2 itself. But yeah, the artwork on the front here, and I believe if we take a quick look on the back, we will come back to the back, or is it on the bottom? Yeah, it's actually on the bottom itself here, yeah. Justin Osborne, who was responsible for this cover art, has done, I think, a phenomenal job. It really, really is outstanding, and the whole presentation of these 12 scale figures is simply top shelf. A really, really fantastic job they've done here. So yeah, what have you got? It says Halloween 2 across the top. This wonderful image of you've got the figure on the floor here. I'm assuming it's Laurie crawling towards the hospital, and then in the background you've got Michael with the bleeding eyes after he's been shot, clutching the scalpel. The logo here, the nightmare isn't over, as we just mentioned, the 40 years symbol in the bottom, and across the bottom here, Ultimate Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis. Across the top just says Halloween 2 and a warning. On the bottom here are your credits. Don't piss this figure off, or it might haunt you and not stay dead. So yeah, on the side, Halloween 2, the nightmare isn't over, NECA again, and Real Toys at the bottom. Same thing on the other side, and if you bring this thing round to the back, what you've got is a collection of images of the figures themselves. Really, really nicely done with this sort of flame effect background. You've got a picture, close-ups of Michael, close-ups of Dr. Loomis, and it's just very, very well done. Once again, Halloween 2 across the bottom, and a little brief description of the movie itself. Just wonderful packaging, just really, really nice, and very, very well done. It's a Velcro fastening, like we normally see with NECA figures. So you open it up, you've got this window inside, translucent plastic cover, figures behind it as always. This is a brand new figure. It's never been opened. It is literally, it's going to be a straight out of the box, so it's a voyage of discovery for all. As you can see here, the seals are still intact on this one. But yeah, inside, on the inside cover, once again, some more shots of the figures themselves. There's a couple of details here which actually make this quite, well, I won't say it's unique amongst NECA figures, but it is relatively unique in the 12 scale world, in as much as you've got interchangeable heads here and interchangeable clothing. We'll take a look at that when we get the figures out, but yeah, you've got shots of the variant looks that you can do for both of the figures on the inside, which looks very effective. And as mentioned before, translucent plastic with all your accessories and your figures behind it. So yeah, there you have it. That is the box for your Halloween 2 Ultimate Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis, and very nice it is too. So without further ado, let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories you get with these two figures. Okay, so we've cracked the seal, opened the box, and here are all the accessories that you get with your Dr. Loomis and Michael Myers figures. And there's quite a lot to go at here. Props to NECA for all the bits and pieces that they've included here. But yeah, let's have a quick look through everything that you get. We'll start with the hands. You know me and my hands. Now, Michael comes with a pair of hands already attached to the body and 2 extra pairs of hands, so he gets 3 sets of hands in total. Dr. Loomis, unfortunately, not as lucky. He gets the pair of hands that he comes with and this 1 extra hand, so he gets 3 hands in total. But we'll take a quick look. Michael's hands are very well sculpted. I mean, as we've discussed before in 12 scale reviews, the level of detail you can get here is nowhere near as intricate as you can get with a 6 scale figure or a quarter scale figure. But NECA, being the past masters of 1/12 scale, have done their usual high quality work here. And these hands are very, very good. You can see the bone work, you can see the fingernails, you can see the creasing in the hands, the veining. It's all there. It's what we've come to expect from NECA, and very good sculpting at this scale as well from them. So yeah, you get an open palm hand. There's several gripping hands for the numerous weapons that he has. There's 3 more gripping hands, as I say, each for these individual weapons that he's got, and the same high quality of sculpt and paint application throughout. And as I say, past masters, so what we come to expect from NECA. So there are 4 extra hands there. We'll take a look at the weapons, because these are all gripping hands. You get the now infamous knife. This is very nicely done. Silver blade. Paintwork on the handle is a sort of brown colour. Not too much in the way of weathering or anything like that, but when you're looking at something this scale, not really going to see that. But yeah, paint applications are nice and sculpt is nice. And they've even got some serrations on there as well. So that's the knife. A very, very small and very delicate 1/6 scale scalpel. I'm not sure if the camera is picking up the detailing here. This is absolutely tiny, although not the smallest accessory in this set. But yeah, the sculpting's nice. There's a ridging on the handle. There's ridging towards the edge of the blade. A little bit of weathering on there, and dry brushing just to give it that metallic look. And very nice it is too. Also, you get this a 6 scale syringe. Now, slight issue with my syringe. Out of the box, slightly bent. Not a problem. A bit of warm water there, and that should get that back in place. But yeah, quite well detailed, quite well sculpted. Silver paint on the tip of the needle itself. You've got those marks on the side of the syringe to indicate amount. And yeah, with a little bit of work, a little bit of help there, and being careful with it so as not to break the needle. No reason why we can't straighten that out. But yeah, very small but very accurate. It should be NECA's logo. A hammer that he uses to great effect on one of the police officers in the hospital, as I remember. Very nicely done too. The head of the hammer has been, it's all one piece of sculpted plastic, because there are all the accessories here. There's some nice dry brushing on the head of the hammer there to give it that metallic look, and the paint applications on the handle are very nice to give it that wood effect. There's a graining in there as well, so very nice, very well done. So that's the weapons. Well, let's continue with the weapons. You also get 2 guns. Now, I'm no gun expert, but apparently, having done some digging, one of these is a Smith & Wesson 5, and one of these is a Colt Trooper. Now, the Smith & Wesson 5 is the gun that Dr. Loomis carries, and the Colt Trooper is the one that Laurie takes from the police officer in the hospital and actually shoots Michael in the eyes. Now, I can't tell the difference, to be honest with you, and it's not something I'd lose too much sleep over when I've got these displayed, but because they look remarkably similar to me. The only difference I can really see is in that barrel. One of them's got has got vents on the barrel, But the paint applications are good, especially for something this size. We'll just take a look at this one. Yeah, the sculpting is very, very nice. You can see the barrel, the trigger, the sculpting in the handle is very, very good. You can see that grip effect. Paint applications are nice, and what we've come to expect from NECA. So yeah, two guns that you can use in your display, and I'm not sure which is which. So we'll put those to one side. What else do you get? Let's take a look at Dr. Loomis's spare hand. Now this is interesting because sculpted into the hand is the yellow lighter. Quite well it's done too. Paint applications have run ever so slightly there, but at this scale I suppose it's something you probably expect to see. Is the tip of the lighter there, the black paint has run onto the thumb, and as you can probably see, and I'm not sure if the camera's picking this up, the yellow paint has run onto the fingers a little bit, but really when it's displayed and at this scale, it's a minor niggle and something that I can't really complain about. But yeah, designed for the sequence where Dr. Loomis lights Michael up. And we'll come to that in a minute with these effects, so we'll put that hand to one side. Well, actually, let's take a look at these flame effects, which go with the lighter hand. Now, I've got mixed feelings about these. I tend to have mixed feelings about a lot of flame effects, especially when they're done this way. But we'll take this larger of the two pieces and we'll put them on the figure when we bring the figure out, so you can see how it works. Now, this particular piece just simply slots over the top of Michael's head, and is held in place by friction, as are, I believe that's a leg piece, as is that, and then you've got two arm pieces as well to simulate obviously the sequence where he is torched. As I say, mixed feelings about these. I think it's probably, and this is just my opinion, I think it's the paint applications on this. I mean, it's translucent plastic by the looks of it, that's had orange washes in, but it looks matte to me. It doesn't look, although the shape is right for flames, the colour is wrong. It looks too matte. There should be reds in there. There should be different shades of oranges. There should be yellows. And to me, the whole thing comes off as a little bit cartoony, if that's fair. Probably not something I would use in a display, to be honest with you. I thought it might look better in hand and out of the box, but I'm still not convinced. But we'll try it on and see how it looks on the figure itself. But yeah, I'm on the fence about these. As I say, you get one to go around his neck. I believe these two attached to the thighs, and these two sections attached to the arms. But we'll take a look at that when as I say, when we bring the figure out. Yeah, so that's your flame effects. You also get two spare arms for Dr. Loomis himself. Now, the way that NECA have done this, and once again, we'll take a look at this when we bring the figure out. The way NECA have done this is a soft sculpted plastic on the overcoat, on the raincoat that he wears, with removable arms. So you can take the arms out, remove the overcoat, put these on and have him just in his suit. But yeah, the paint applications here are very, very good, as we've come to expect from NECA. The eagle-eyed among you will see the speckles on the suit. Now, these are screen accurate, and they're continued all over the suit of the figure itself, because that's how it looked in the film. He did have these speckles on his suit. So yeah, you get two spare swap-out arms. We'll put those to one side, and finally, you get this pumpkin. I do like this. Now, this doesn't actually appear in the film, as far as I remember. I believe this is the actual pumpkin that was used in the promotional shots, in posters and so on, when they were promoting the film. It's a pumpkin with the skull on the front, all one piece of sculpted plastic. Paint applications are very, very nice indeed. That skull is very well sculpted and very well painted, and just something that you can have in the display to give it atmosphere, ground it, and just add to the aesthetic of the display. So a nice inclusion there from NECA. A very nice inclusion indeed. So we'll put that to one side. Finally is Michael's head. Now, Michael comes with two heads. There is one already on the figure, which we'll take a look at when we bring him out. This is the second of the two, and I'll be honest with you, this is my preferred one. This is the bleeding eyes look from when Laurie's taken a pot shot at him. And I just like this look. I think it is suitably creepy. And as I say, yeah, my preference out of the two. The head sculpt itself is pretty well done. I know NECA have released a number of Michael Myers figures, so they've had plenty of practice at getting this head sculpt right. The paint applications are nice. They've even put the red spot on the neck there, I believe, where he gets stabbed with the syringe. The hair's very good. If I had a niggle, and I am not the world's biggest Michael Myers expert, but from my recollection, these eyes are a little bit off. They're a little bit too narrow, and they should droop ever so slightly, as suggested on the cover art of the box. They're a little bit too small and a little bit too, what's the right expression I'm looking for here? Non-droopy? Is that an expression? I don't know, maybe I'm just making things up. But yeah, I feel they should drop a little bit more, and they shouldn't be quite as narrow, and there should be more of the visible eye underneath. I mean, if you look really, really closely, I'm not sure if the camera's picking this up, you can see the eyes underneath, but they're barely visible. It's just a minor glint and reflection. But yeah, so yeah, perhaps if I had to, if one complaint, I would say these eyes aren't exactly screen accurate. But on the whole, yeah, the sculpt is good, the paintwork is good, and particularly for something this scale, I think NECA, as always, have done an outstanding job. So yeah, that's the spare head sculpt. So without further ado, let's bring out Dr. Loomis and Michael Myers, take a look at the figures, and take a look at how they interact with all these accessories. Oh yes, and I almost forgot to mention, the box itself has an inlay card, and we'll bring this front and centre a little bit. Now this inlay card just simply slots out the box once you've taken the two clamshells out, and provides you with a little bit of a diorama, a little bit of a hospital diorama. If you're wanting to use that, you can have it in the background there, have your two figures, maybe use it for photography if that's your thing. But yeah, a really nice inclusion there from NECA. But yeah, let's bring out the figures now. Let's get them on the turntable and have a close-up look at Sam Loomis and Michael Myers. Okay, so here they are, straight out of the box, straight onto the turntable. It's Dr. Loomis and it's Michael Myers. And first impressions, a bit of a mixed bag, I have to say. First impressions of the Dr. Loomis figure are very, very good indeed. The sculpt work, the screen accuracy of the colours, the paint applications, very, very good. Michael, like I say, a bit of a mixed bag with Michael. The first thing that I noticed, and you might be able to see this on camera actually while he's on the turntable, is he doesn't stand very well evenly. He's got what appears to be, I don't know whether it's a joint issue or whether one leg is slightly longer than the other, but he's got a definite list to one side, which is not good. Getting him stood up straight is damn near impossible. Might be easier with one of the small NECA stands. I don't know, but the camera, if you can see that there as he's going round, it's yeah, it looks a bit uneven to me, and I don't know whether it's because I am just getting used to seeing NECA's take on Michael Myers. It just feels at first impression that maybe not quite as much love and care has gone into Michael as it has into Dr. Loomis, but maybe that's just me. What do you think? Have you got these figures? Are you a NECA Michael Myers collector? Let me know in the comments section below. It just, I don't know, just feels slightly off to me, but that's my opinion. So what we'll do is we'll get them off this turntable because they are in grave danger of falling over. We'll stop the turntable, I'll put the turntable to one side, and let's hope we can do that without them falling over. Yeah. So we'll just remove the turntable from the equation and have a close-up look at each of these guys. We'll start with Michael. Now, maybe when he's stood stationary in camera, you can get you can maybe see better what I mean. There's a distinct list here, and when I try to finagle this body on this joint here, it might be because this actual costume here, the rubber of the outfit itself is actually going underneath this leg joint, so this leg joint can't move freely. I think that might be what I'm looking at here that's an issue. It might be I'll try and get him get him to stand upright, but it's not working. Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is this section of the body here is actually tucking underneath this joint here, which is causing some issues. So yeah, that's going to be some work off camera there to get this this section to come out and fit flush like it does on this side. I think that's what's causing the problem here with him standing upright. But yeah, on the whole, the sculpting is good. It's screen accurate. The overalls are done nicely. What I do like to see here is, and NECA once again past masters at this as well, is concealing these joints that are always inevitable on a 12 scale figure. But they've done that really, really well, because it looks like the folds within the overalls. And they've used the same paint on the joints themselves. The articulation's pretty good. I say this is a new figure, so bear with me. It's going to be probably quite stiff, as most new NECA figures are. But yeah, there's a good range of motion in there. The overalls themselves, as I say, the colour looks pretty screen accurate to me. They've sculpted bullet holes. It looks like there's 6 there. And I believe that's screen accurate, because as I remember, Dr. Loomis says I shot him 6 times. And there's some red paint work underneath those bullet holes. Let's get in close into camera so you can see this. Let me just move these lights around so we can have a proper look at this at these overalls. Yeah, and that unfortunate crease that seems to have developed there. But yeah, overall, very, very good. The sculpting of the overalls are good. The feet are pegged, as always. The boots look pretty good, nicely sculpted. And you've got that other head sculpt that we spoke about when we were looking at in the accessory section. This is, I mean, I'm pretty certain this is exactly the same as this. It looks identical to me, obviously, bar the blood coming out of the eyes, even down to the red spot on the neck. Pretty identical, but I mean, I will be using this one because I prefer this one. I just think it looks that much creepier. But it's a relatively straightforward job to replace the head, he said with confidence, as this is a brand new figure and never been done before. So we'll pop this head off and we'll put this one on. And it's just a peg here, which goes into the hole there. He said, he said with confidence, and these things never cooperate on camera. There we go. Let's apply some pressure to get that thing to stay on. It doesn't seem to want to go on. Just bear with me. There we go. Now, is that on? No, it's not. Right, I am determined, because we're on the 3rd take of this, and for some reason it just does not want to go. This head sculpt does not want to go on camera. I'm not sure why. Let's try it. Just bear with me. So you hear that popping sound of it going on. And there we go. Finally. Whew, need to lie down after that. Okay, so there it is. That's the alternate head sculpt on. And as I say, my preferred head sculpt. There's not a vast range of motion in there, but it's there because obviously you've got this collar, which can be quite restrictive, and you don't want to push it too much because you might find that you're getting paint rubbing on the head sculpt itself. But overall, good, I would say. I'm not going to say excellent, simply because of those slight reservations about what's going on here, which is impeding him standing up correctly, and that head sculpt. Those eyes, I'm not 100% happy with those eyes. I think what we should do here is do a quick cut as well, and I think we should put those flame effects on, because I'm really interested to see how they come off on the figure itself, because as I mentioned before in the previous sections, I've got my reservations. So let's do a quick cut to the flames. Okay, and we're back with flames on, and yeah, I'm not 100% convinced, I've got to be honest. They do look better with when you can actually see the body underneath in the sort of the translucent sections, the bits at the front that are visible. It does give it a bit more depth, but I'm still not 100% convinced. Particularly this piece at the front, it just looks like he's wearing some kind of strange early 80s glam rock band attire. And I'm not really that convinced. I did make a mistake there. this piece isn't for the arm. It's actually for the head itself. And I'll just take this off so you can see there are actually two slots here for the eyes, and as you can see, it corresponds to the shape of the face. And you literally find those eye slots, which is not going to be easy on camera, but yeah, and it simply slots into place. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not going to say it's great. I'm not a huge fan. I won't be using them in the display. It's growing on me a little bit, but yeah, as it stands, no, it's not a look I'll be going for. Although we might try and incorporate it in the mini showcase at the end. So yeah, that's the flame on look of Michael. So let's take a look at. So let's put him to one side for a second and take a look at Dr. Loomis. Now, yeah, this figure I was altogether more impressed with straight out of the box. The sculpting on the paintwork on the suit is really screen accurate, as is the overcoat. The detailing here is very good. You've even got you can even see the stitch work in the collar and in the lapels and the buttons. Once again, they've incorporated the same paintwork on the joints to minimise that visible joint look. And this is sort of its party pieces. This is a very soft plastic. We'll bring this into camera so you can see the detailing on this suit underneath. The tie is sculpted plastic, obviously. The shirt is sculpted plastic, as is the suit. But the suit as well, or rather the jacket of the suit, is made of the same soft plastic as the overcoat. We'll do this arm thing. I haven't done this yet, so this is a first on camera as well. So we'll try and get one of these arms out. I'm not 100% certain how these come out, but I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. That brought some paint work with it. I'm hoping that was inside the joint. That was just excess paint inside the joint. Yeah, but it's brought some paint work off with it. Yeah, it was on the peg itself, which is good news. And do the same with the other arm. And if we get paint with this, we know what that is as well. And these are tough. Do not want to come out. Okay, just bear with me. We'll try it from the other side. And, oh, there you go. That was a struggle. But that's both arms out. So if you're seeing any flecks of paint, don't worry. They're simply coming off the actual pegs themselves there. So once you've got those arms off, you simply unhook the soft plastic overcoat. You can see there the creasing. Actually, while it's off, let's have a close-up look at it. Creasing in the back is really good. The sculpted stitch work, excellent. Pockets are sculpted on there as well, and just very nice. And that collar is excellent as well. So props to NECA there. They've done a really good job with this overcoat. So let's bring in the other arms. Now, I am assuming they simply clip in like this. There we go, that's one in, he said confidently. I believe it's in. Yeah, it is. Not all the way in, but... And while I'm doing this, actually, it's probably fair to mention that they've incorporated the seams of the jacket and the seams of the overcoat really well with these joints. So once you've actually got these, you've replaced these arms, you swap these arms out, those joints aren't really that obvious at all. So yeah, let's put some hands on him as well. That might be a good idea. Yeah, let's simply remove the hands from the other arms, bringing more paintwork with it. I'm hoping that's flex just coming off the actual pegs again, but we'll double check that. We just don't want to be losing too much paintwork here. No, it doesn't seem to be coming off the arms, as I mentioned before. It's simply these the shoulder pegs themselves that have got paintwork on. But let's put the other hands on, and there you go. That's Dr. Loomis just in his suit. And let's get this paint out of the way. And yeah, I think they've done a phenomenal job. I don't think I would. I'm not sure whether I'd choose to display him that way. to be honest with you. I mean, I do like it, and it's a great option for your display, for swapping up your display and keeping it fresh. But me, I'd probably go for the overcoat look. To me, it's just that little bit more iconic than just the straight suit. But yeah, let's have a close-up look at this suit again. Very nice, just very, very nice. As I mentioned, the soft plastic here really does give it that extra depth. The flecking on there, the colours. I know there was some when this figure was initially released, some people were getting figures that were absolutely covered in these paint flecks, which wasn't really that screen accurate. This one doesn't appear to have suffered from that issue. It would appear that they've got just about the right amount of flecking on there, but yeah, great paint applications and great sculpt. Let's take a look at this head. It looks slightly wonky to me, that head. I don't know whether that's just the way this head sculpt sat, but yeah, let's get this head sculpt into camera. Now, for 1/12 scale, I think they've done a really, really good job there of capturing the likeness of Donald Pleasence. Is it perfect? No, by no means, but the paint applications are great on the hair. You've got veining in the forehead. There are creases in the forehead. The eyes are just the right distance apart. I would say his face is perhaps a little bit too chubby for Donald Pleasence, but that's maybe that's just me. But the beard is nicely painted. Let's see what kind of motion you've got in there. You've got some range of motion in there, but it's not the best. This head sculpt actually looks like it's sat incorrectly on this neck. I might have to futz that off camera before we go to the showcase, but yeah, it's not sitting quite right. Let's just take this off for a second and see what the issue is. No, let's not actually, but there does seem to be a slight issue there. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but his head's, if we get it that way, you can possibly see he's slightly skewed to the left there. I might have to fiddle around with that before we shoot the showcase, but yeah, on the whole, very, very good. As I say, I won't be sporting this particular look simply because I prefer the overcoat, but that's an option there if you want it. But really, that's about all we've got for you here with these two figures. It's a bit of a mixed bag. On the whole, very, very good. I suppose all it remains for me to say is thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon. We have lots more content coming up. What's coming up? Off the top of my head, back in the 1/6 scale world, we've got iconic Studios Muhammad Ali. That's dropping very, very soon, and there'll be a full review for that coming up on the channel. BM Projects Kaneda's bike to go with our Kaneda figure that we reviewed recently on the channel. If you've not already looked at that review, check it out. Back to NECA again, and a different scale for the NECA Alien Queen. That's coming in soon. What I'm looking forward to, 1/6 scale Dragon in Dreams, Pete Mitchell, Top Gun, Maverick, Tom Cruise. We've got a soft vinyl statue coming in from Star Ace, Marshmallow Man, to go with our Blitzway Ghostbusters figures that we recently reviewed. Once again, if you haven't seen that, check out the review on the channel. Got the 6-lane Riddler, that's coming in soon. Hot Toys Dead Strange, that literally has just come through the door and will be going under the camera very, very shortly. So yeah, plenty of content coming up, lots more stuff, lots more retro reviews. We'll also be diving into the 12 scale world again, 6 scale stuff as well. So as I say, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. So I suppose all that remains for me to say is thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and it's over to the detail for the showcase.